So these are the MemoMind One, a pair of smart glasses that actually show you useful stuff on the lens like navigation, live translation, a smart teleprompter, AI chats, and honestly just so much more. They also have speakers for playing music or answering phone calls, and of all the smart glasses I've tested, which I've tested dozens, these have to be the most well thought out and best executed with really interesting features in my opinion. So these are designed not to be like the Meta glasses that have cameras on them. These don't have cameras. These are instead designed to make you more productive and ideally less distracted while still looking and feeling like normal glasses. And looking at them, you can see it's a fairly lightweight design. Like you really can't tell they have a display unless you catch the light at the perfect angle. You'll see a small little space where that display actually lies. And the speakers are behind your ears, so you really never even see them, making them, again, look and feel a lot like normal glasses. They also can be either prescription or non-prescription, and I'll talk about a lot of the features throughout this video. This video was sponsored by MemoMind, so in this video, I'll show you what these glasses can and cannot do. I'll demonstrate and test the capabilities, and hopefully answer any questions you might have so you can decide for yourself if these are the right glasses for you. So first of all, let's start off with a quick rundown of the design, and then I'll talk about what features are actually on here. These have little displays, so dual eye AR displays. Each one's 2,000 nits, and you can see, like I said, that little rectangle on the lens, but when you put them on, they'll show you green text or icons or arrows or graphs or maps, and it's a really simple basic display. You're still able to see all of your surroundings, of course, because these are glass. And as far as the materials go, these are available in 3 different frame styles with different finishes such as magnesium aluminum, titanium. You got a lot of different options depending on what your style is. The speakers on the back are stereo speakers powered by Harman Audio EFX, so I'll talk more about the speakers later. I'll get into a little test as well. And like I said, the lenses could be prescription or blue light filtering. I don't wear corrective lenses, so I just have these on the basic non-magnifying lenses here. And the battery life is rated for all day, 16 plus hours per charge. I find for my use, I'm easily getting through an entire day wearing these. They also have a button on the right side, and they have microphones for the AI voice assistant and phone calls. Now, as far as the subjective aspect of the design, the fit, the comfort, the aesthetics, these are very light and very comfortable. I can wear them all day, and they feel like regular glasses. They really sit light on my nose. They weigh less than 50 grams, so pretty good balance of battery life and weight and size on these. As far as how they look, I'm not the biggest fan of how I look in glasses in general, but I know this is a very popular style, and like I said, there are several other styles. I tried them on back at CES when they were first debuting these glasses. Now, as far as charging goes, these do come with a case, but the case is not how you charge them. Instead, these charge with 2 little nodes on the very back. There's a little piece that comes in the box with these, and that piece will slide right over the back of the right earpiece, and you'll see it actually has a cutout there, so the microphone still is exposed. Now you might wonder, why would they do that? Well, technically you could wear these while they're charging if you wanted to. You could also, of course, take them off and plug them in USB Type-C like this and charge them, but again, if you wanted to wear them while they're charging, that's totally possible right there. Now, getting into the interface, these have the ability to sense where you're looking, up, down, left, right. So when I look up, the full display shows up right there. And you can adjust this in the app for where it's going to show up. You could also press the button once, and that will open it up as well. The dashboard right now, again, when you press it once, it's going to show you on the left side. You can customize what it looks like, but date, time, battery life, weather, things like that are going to show up on the left side. On the right side, then, you have the rest of your dashboard. So right now I have it showing me 4 different stocks I'm watching. I can press that button once and cycle through. The next thing it shows me is a bunch of news articles, and that's updating throughout the day. Honestly, I really like seeing a couple headlines just when I glance up like this. We also have your calendar, your to-do list, and you can customize what's being shown on your dashboard. And again, that's all controlled just by pressing on the right side. And if you look down, that'll eventually go away, and you can choose on the app how long it's going to display until it disappears. If we double press that button, this brings you into the head motion panel, and you have 3 shortcuts here, and as I turn my head, it will allow me to select any of them. So right now I have, for example, translate, play, pause, and a little game on the left side. I'll talk about the game in a second. Play, pause is just going to be playing and pausing my music. As I said, these do have speakers on them, so I'll like to just work on my laptop and have music playing from these. We'll do a sound bleed test to see how much other people can hear on them in a second, but you can change out these 3 with a ton of other ones in the app. Record is another one that I sometimes have set up on here, so this will record using the microphone and the glasses. You can press it once to play and pause, press it twice to leave a mark in your recording, and then hold to end. And the recording could be really useful. Honestly, I feel like my best ideas are always like when I'm driving home or something and I end up like taking videos on my phone just to like have voice notes, but this is a really great way to have a quicker voice note while you're obviously still looking at the road. And Translate's gonna be a really big one on these glasses. You can select from 26 different languages in the app. The glasses listen and show you the text on your phone, but of course also on the glasses. So I have it showing like Spanish to English. It worked surprisingly quickly. I found this great channel, just two girls having a 1-hour conversation in Spanish. It included subtitles. Like the video is meant to help people learn like Spanish and English. So it worked out really well that I could see what it was saying in English and verify that the glasses were correct with that. Honestly, great and subtle way to listen to tours while you're traveling, listening to a lecture in another language, maybe a taxi in another country, or perhaps even help you learn another language as you listen to someone speak, in real life, and then get those subtitles just to really double check yourself and know what they're saying. You could also customize those 3 options to include music playback controls, volume controls, system settings like brightness, even a mini game. Remember I said I had the game on the left side, so they have Tetris, they have Brick Breaker, where like it slides back and forth and like the little ping pong ball goes up and hits the bricks, and you actually control that game just by looking left and right, and that controls the bottom. Honestly, I feel like most people probably won't do that all the time on here, but it just shows it was kind of a nice little fun touch. This feels like a cool new piece of technology that it's just cool. It's fun to add different features in like that. But getting back to the other parts of the interface, if you press and hold the button on the right side, this is really what I would say most of the benefit of the glasses is going to be. And this is allowing you to open up Memo AI. So it's going to be an AI assistant that can not only answer regular ChatGPT style questions, but it can also do things on the glasses. You can choose if you want text and or voice responses, and you can choose if you want continuous conversation. You can choose if you want memory. You can ask it to do things, like I said, related to the glasses. And so I could just right now say, what is the weather in London next week in Fahrenheit? So it already knows what I said. It's checking the weather. And by the way, the display in here, you're able to customize in the app how far away it's going to look. Now it's telling me the answer. Next week in London. It's also talking in my ear.
81 degrees Fahrenheit and lows around 57 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The week will start mostly fine with Monday, the 20th of July, reaching a warm high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
It did a really good job. That was a good answer. As I mentioned, you can also do AI recordings on here, so you can ask the AI to start a recording. It records audio, and you can play that back as the original audio, or you can see an AI summary. There's an AI teleprompter. This is probably my favorite feature. I probably should have mentioned this earlier in the video. It moves as you speak, or you could set up like manual or fixed pace. There's different, or you could actually control it with the volume button on your phone if you wanted to, but the following actually does such a good job. So if you miss words, it's okay. It does a really good job of knowing what you say, and if you skip a line, it'll just bring you right up to there. So you don't have to set the pace right, you don't have to read faster or slower, you can speak naturally, you can go off the cuff a little bit, and you can come back to your script, and it's all right there. It's easy to read, it feels really natural, and like I said, if you ever need to manually adjust it, the volume control on your phone could scroll up and down, if you need to. And again, very subtle to do that, but that could be a useful thing. Like, I mean, not everyone's going to do this all the time, but for example, I've seen CEOs give TED Talks wearing glasses like this and use teleprompter features. And it's just cool new technology. Oh, by the way, it also times you. It shows your percent progress through the script. And it just gives you it's useful to know, how you're actually doing with that. I could see this being useful, if not for a full script, at the very least, just for some notes showing up there. Maybe you have a presentation and you're just really nervous and you would have note cards. You could have a couple bullet points showing up, so you're able to speak and then just see that bullet point and continue on. That way you're not looking back at a PowerPoint. Again, not everyone's gonna do this, but I can see this being a really clean presentation. And as a little side note, these glasses, I think in summary, just really feel well thought out and genuinely useful. And a lot of people are trying to make glasses that do what my phone does, whereas these feel like they're doing the opposite. They're trying to be unique and do things that my phone could not do. My phone can't be a teleprompter. It can't do live translate while I'm looking at the world. I have to look down at my phone. And I think that's really a unique angle on smart glasses that I hope really continues. Other things we have on here, we have calendar. You can set up schedules, to-do list. You also have AI suggestions. I'll talk more about those in a second. Recordings, as I mentioned before, great for meetings, brainstorms, or just while you're driving home, which is what I usually do. You've got maps and navigation on here. So you get turn-by-turn directions. So when I'm wearing the glasses, it'll show me the full map and like where I'm going next, or I could choose for just to be in the corner and only tell me what my next turn is. That could be useful if you're commuting or like riding your bicycle to a local shop or whatever, and you don't want to have your phone right there, so you just kind of glance up and you see that. Or it could also be useful when you're walking and navigating through a city, so you're not like crossing a crosswalk looking at your phone and you can't see traffic then. It's kind of a good balance and also just a pretty neat feature in my opinion. I mentioned before that you have live translate. You also have AI captions, which is a really similar thing, but the difference is going to be it's in your native language. So if you are, for example, hard of hearing, or if you're deaf, then that could be really useful. You could walk around and people could talk to you in the shop or whatever, and you're able to just, have basically captions on the glasses of what people are saying to you. I could see that being a huge accessibility win for anybody who, like I said, it struggles to hear. Naturally, you also get like time, notifications, date, weather, and things like that on here also. So taking a look at the app, this is how you can really customize what the glasses are going to do. So on the left side, like I said, we have that dashboard there that's going to be what they call the status area. You can choose what your clock looks like, what's showing there. You can choose like the format, that the units and things like that. We also have the component area, so you can choose what's going to show up in your dashboard. So I've got stocks, I've got calendar, news, and notifications, but you also could have like your notes, lyrics, for example, if you wanted to use these maybe for karaoke. Like I said, because these have that teleprompter feature, that also works for karaoke, where you could get the lyrics showing up and moving as you say them, or I guess saying them in that sense. And if I tap on like the little gear icon for stocks, for example, I can choose which 4 stocks is going to show me, and you can have your little watch list going on, and that works for all the different complications here. We can also see on the bottom, if I tap on each one of them, what that's looking like on the app. So the stocks, I'll of course show you B-roll of what it looks like to me. It's green, and it looks really actually quite clear, but the phone of course shows you what that's supposed to look like. So just for example, on the teleprompter, the glasses are showing everything in green here, so the script above and below there. And if I just hit play, it'll automatically follow what I'm saying. So if I started reading this and I say, I've been a hardcore Spotify user for almost a decade, but Spotify and Apple Music have changed a lot recently, and what used to be the best may no longer be the best. Also, I can skip lines. I could just say, playlists that blend your taste with a friend's. See how scrolled past to that one? So it does a good job of tracking what I'm saying, and if I go off script right now, it's not going to keep scrolling until I go back on script. Apple Music sounds better, but there we go, so it moves up like that. So that's how that would work. Also, again, you have settings on here. You could set that to be larger or smaller font size. You can have AI follow mode, as I mentioned, auto scroll, or manual, just different ways you can set up the actual teleprompter there. So let's go back into the app where we were. So back in the app where we were, we've got recorder here, so you can see your notes. You can also have from the glasses or from your phone. You've got calendar, your to-do list, things to do. And if you go over to more, there's a couple other features over here as well, including maps over there, as well as this little floating button. This, you might have noticed, this is everywhere. I'm able to take screenshots of what I see on the glasses. So if I just tap this right now, it's going to take a screenshot of what the glasses are showing me, which is like the stocks and my dashboard. And I'm able to save that to gallery, either with a black background, transparent, or as a photo right now. I'm going to go transparent and save to gallery. And honestly, that's more useful for me than it is for most people, but it's cool that that exists. On the left side, if we tap on the 3 bars at the top, you're able to change memory on or off. The heads-up display, like when you turn your head up, do you want that to turn on or off? And if we go into settings, you can customize how that actually works and what angle it's actually going to engage that. So display, for example, you can choose how far or how close it is, how you can raise it up and down as well, so it's a comfortable location to see it. As far as the head up goes, you can actually tap on this little automatic angle adjustment, and then all you do is look to a comfortable angle. So for me, it's 7 degrees right here. And as long as I hold there for a second, it then locks it in, and that's the new angle. When I look up to there, it'll turn the glasses on. And you can also have nod and shake, so you can answer phone calls by nodding and shaking your head. And the last thing I want to show in here is Memo Lab. There's a couple new features rolling out. This may change by the time you actually get these, but for example, you can set up OpenClaw with these. The screenshot button is in Memo Lab, kind of a cool feature in my opinion, but I'm sure they're going to add more as well. Now, a little cautionary note, the LLM model does a really good job, but before just like blindly trusting it, you want to verify things. For example, if I tell it to set a 1-minute timer, it'll tell me it does that. LLMs do this, and it's not actually able to, but it does set like a notification or like a to-do thing that's going to show up in 1 minute. So it sort of does. It has a really good workaround. It really tries its best, but again, It does a lot, and I'm sure that the capabilities are going to keep expanding, but you always want to double check AI when they say they could do things like that. Also, everything I've mentioned so far, there's no subscription for these glasses whatsoever to use those features. There is an optional subscription, though, that gives you some more advanced AI. There's really three main things it does. One is called Moments. So Memo AI Plus is what they call it, generates a daily journal for your everyday, basically everything you do during the day, and organizes it into chapters and gives you AI-generated artwork, kind of organizes like a daily journal for you. You also have Up Next. Throughout the day, to-do items are automatically categorized into wishes and suggestions. Wishes are going to be like aspirations. Suggestions are more action items that you want to focus on maybe tomorrow. And of course, you have Memo AI Plus, which unlike regular Memo AI, which we've been seeing throughout this video, that just the AI interactions you get, this one's much more contextual. It's based on you, so it's going to have context from meeting notes, calendars, recordings. It digs through memories to be more helpful. So you could say like, who mentioned this one thing? Or what did I say in X meeting about whatever? And it's going to, again, have that more context. So that is the subscription tier. If you get it through Kickstarter, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, you do get 6 months of that for free. Now let's get into some testing with these. Starting off with the light leak test, I found that unlike a lot of other smart glasses, these do very little light leak. Like really, only at the perfect angle, you'll get a little glimpse of green there, but you're never gonna see what I'm seeing, at least from any angle that I've tried, recording these. You never, like, it's very private in my opinion. As far as the controls go, like I said, you've got the button on the right side, you have nodding and shaking and moving your head gestures. There's no like swipe or touch or anything behind your ear or anything like that. I think it would be nice to have volume controls somewhere on here. If I'm listening to music, I have to go into, I have to double press this, look up, then go over to volume controls to do that. It would be nice to have like a little slide or some volume control on there. As far as the speakers go, there are two modes. One is quiet mode, and let's do a sound leak test with that. Okay, so at 80% volume, this is really loud for me. I'm like, I don't know, 8 inches away from my microphone here. Let's see if it's able to pick up anything from these glasses. So, I mean, just looking at my monitor here, that was very faint if you heard it at all. Now let's go over to Harman mode. So that was quiet mode, so it's meant to really make it so that only you can hear it. Harman mode's gonna have better sound quality, a little bit more bass on here. Let's see how that sounds. Again, 80% volume. Let's see if you can hear it. I'm still like 6 to 8 inches away from my microphone. All right, so again, that is like a worst case scenario. It's very, very loud in my ears. I would typically listen a lot lower than that, but those are the two different music modes you have. Now, the speaker works well for music. I think it's great to have just some subtle background music if you're like working and you don't want to have earbuds in, you still want to hear your surroundings. But I actually find that the speakers are best for me for, one, the voice assistant feedback. I find that's very useful, but two, answering phone calls on here really is a nice experience. We're able to like still see and work on everything, and you don't need to have earbuds in your ears to answer a phone call. So let's get into a microphone test now. This is the microphone on the MemoMind One glasses. I'm inside, obviously, but we'll see how this sounds. I mean, I've answered a number of phone calls. Nobody said anything negative about my audio quality, but let me know how this sounds when you actually know that these are from the glasses. Now, as far as compatibility and pricing goes, these do work with iOS and with Android. And so pricing for these glasses at launch is going to be $599 US. That's the retail price. However, right now, if you're watching this video close to launch, there is a Kickstarter special at $399, so $200 off to buy these glasses if you're buying them early. But of course, that doesn't last forever. So at launch, these will be launching at $599. Check out the link in the description down below to see what the pricing is at the time of, well, whenever you're watching this video. But again, these glasses, still very new. I think there's gonna be more features rolling out, but I'm excited to see like a pair of glasses like this that was designed clearly by people who are excited to add a lot of features and have genuinely new tech. If I was somebody that wore glasses every day, I would absolutely be switching over to these as soon as I could because, again, you're already wearing glasses. This just makes it way smarter. Even for somebody who doesn't wear glasses, I find that these are just like really fun and interesting. So leave a comment below and let me know what you think about these glasses, any features you would like to see, any questions you might have. I've been using these for a couple weeks now, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Mike O'Brien, and I'll see you in the next video.